how do you kind of regroup after four straight losses?
You just do. You regroup and you don't look back. You do look back to fix what needs to get fixed and move forward. I said, I think I said on the radio yesterday. Last week was kind of the outlier. I mean, we we lost some tough losses. Last Saturday was a hard one to pinpoint because we didn't show up. We didn't play very well, and our lacked emotion, lacked everything you need to play well. And I take that personally. I put that on me that the team wasn't ready to go, um, and you address it, which I did, and I have, um, and you move forward and get ready to go play a good football team on the road.
Has there been any common denominators over the last month?
Well, I've said all along. I said, well, I thought we were a work in progress as far as to win and win at a high level. You have to have great attention to detail. You have to be, the hard thing about pinpointing about last Saturday is I don't think our preparation was bad. Well, I thought our kids practiced pretty hard. We just didn't carry it over to the game. When I watched the game film and then you go back and watch a practice film, we did things in the game that we didn't do in practice, which is hard to put your finger on, which comes down to, just not being, whatever, ready to play. You have some adversity early, and then it kind of snowballs on you. And yeah, it's happened before. It's happened before to a lot of teams, a lot of different. I've been coaching in a lot of games, and I've seen it happen. And we had opportunities to change it, to kind of get the momentum going the other way. And when you miss those opportunities, it's kind of like you go back 2 weeks ago. We lose a tough one on the road, and we had opportunities. Like, I mean, that we let really, I mean, just opportunities for points. And it's difficult. When that happens, and all of a sudden, it affects the psyche. It affects a lot of different things. And then your confidence, whatever it may be, and all of a sudden, pretty soon you run out of time, and when you have adversity, you got to make a play and to get it turned around the other way. And when we've had those opportunities, we haven't been taking advantage of them for whatever reason. And and it's not one guy here or one guy there. It's a team game, and as a team, you got to play better and you got to pick each other up and to win the tough games.
Earlier in the season, you talk about a lot about paying attention to detail because something that you missed that might not be fatal in that game can hurt you down the road. Was Saturday sort of a culmination of that? Because I find myself thinking about some of the things like going on with like the run game kind of not being as good, the sacks. Did all that kind of come to a head Saturday?
Yeah, it did. And like I said, it snowballed on us, and wasn't just one guy or one position group. It's kind of Saturday, everybody took their turn. And, offensively, defensively, like even, pretty much we've been able to hold in there. Even when we've had a struggle here or there on one side of the ball or the other, we've been able to pick each other up. It was across the board. We just didn't. It was like when I watched the film, it was like sitting there in a dream watching something that, like, I didn't recognize. Like, wow, like, that was bad. And, we just didn't. It was almost like you didn't recognize that team that was out there. And, we didn't play awful on special teams. I thought the effort was pretty good there. We did some pretty good things on special teams. But offensively and defensively, it was there were just a lot of details, a lot of the things that, like you say, like a lot of things I've been talking about came to a head.
How difficult is that to coach when you can't pinpoint a player or a group or a reoccurring mistake in practice to have to generalize? I mean, how difficult is that for you to correct as a coach?
Well, I think that's always the case. In coaching, that's why probably why I'm wired the way I am and the way I coach and the way we stress things and is, this is the ultimate team game. You need 11 guys, being in sync play after play after play, to play at a extremely high level. And you have to be, that has to be your standard, and you have to demand that all the time, every day. And because when that doesn't happen, one mistake or one guy not doing their part or whatever it may be on any particular play can make everybody look bad. And it's not like and that happened a lot the other day. And then on top of it, probably the thing that bothered me the most about Saturday was fundamentally we were poor in a lot of different areas. I'm talking about not just. I always say that in this game, in this sport, in the game, everybody gets caught up in X's and O's, and yeah, that's important, and but I always believe that it's not what you do, it's how you do it. And when you're not doing it, when you're not, and that's when I talk about attention to detail, about, a lot of that is about focus, fundamentals, and carrying over to things you stress during the week, and an individual, really from the first day of individual in camp, you have to carry those fundamentals over to the game. And time after time, that didn't happen the other day. We looked very sloppy, like a fundamentally unsound football team, and that really bothers me, because that's something I've always hung my hat on as a coach, and that's what my teams I believe, have separated themselves from a lot of other people, because we've always been pretty consistent, and because you could always hang yourself, on your understanding of the roles, the concepts, the fundamentals will carry you over when times get tough, and we broke down, and that was something that really bothered me.
Coach, where's the quarterback situation at? I know Nate's pretty beat up.
Yeah, right now it's probably going to be Ricky. We'll see. Hunter's, we're gonna see where he is here over the next couple days, but it's been a little bit of a parade of quarterbacks. Nate has played his butt off. He wasn't 100% going into that game the other day. He was nicked up for the last couple weeks and has fought through it. I'm not exactly sure where he'll be and how quickly he'll respond. He has like a nerve. He hit a nerve in his arm that's giving him problems, and anybody who understands anything about that knows that that can come back. Only God knows when that, how long that's going to take. I mean, it's not something that's going to be career-ending or anything like that, but it's something it just takes time for it to settle down, because his right hand's bothering him.
What about Justice? Well, he's going to miss a lot of Justice Reed.
We'll see. I think he's close. I think he's really close. Hopefully we get him back. That'd be a nice shot in the arm for us.
Have you talked to Hunter at all? Is there, a possibility he might redshirt this year because of?
I don't. I'm looking into the role and all that, and how that plays out, because he did play obviously some snaps early in the year. But if that's a possibility, that's something that we'll visit about. But I'm not sure. I need to get with our compliance to find out exactly where that is. I know Hunter's frustrated. He wants to play more than anything, and You can't play until he's, I don't want to put him out there until he's 100%. He feels he can do everything he needs to do. It wouldn't be fair to him or anybody.
So who's number 2 then? Or is it too early?
Well, it's too early to tell for the week. We'll see how Nate plays out, how Hunter plays out, and we got Durkin, who's been a college football quarterback. Played it, that I think could go in there and do some things for us. So. I don't know, but hopefully, if all else fails, you adjust, and we'll plan for it no matter what happens. We'll have our contingency plans.
Coach, I asked Vitas this. I mean, obviously, 4-game tailspin going to Indiana State where they're struggling, a bus ride. I mean, I know it's early in the week, but do you foresee any issue with motivation this week?
No, if you can't, I said this, that if you, after last Saturday, if you can't motivate yourself, if that isn't motivation enough, then I don't know. You better get go see a heart surgeon, and I think our guys will respond the right way, knowing that the guys in that locker room.
Was there any clarity on the offensive line issues from what you saw in film?
Well, A couple, it was a guy here, a guy there. Wasn't any particular guy. And I've said this all along. At times, you got to play. Like the same way you got to play well around the quarterback. The quarterback's got to help the offensive line too at times. Or a guy running the wrong route and the quarterback's expecting the guy to run a particular route and he has to hold the ball. That affects the offensive line. It's a team game, and sometimes those stats can get skewed. Did we play well enough on the offensive line? Certainly not, but we didn't play well in other areas too, which affected that offensive line. And it's a team game. And at the end of the day, the way I sum it up is I'm responsible for the product that goes out on that field. Period. End of story. And if we don't play well enough, it's on me. And I need to coach it better. I need to get the team prepared better, and that's what I'm setting out to do. And I have every reason to believe that that's going to happen this Saturday, and we'll be ready to go.
I know Indiana State's had their struggles, but what do we see from them, and what type of things do they do?
They're I believe it's a new staff. Kurt Mallory and his staff. I coached with Kurt's brother Doug for a long time, or for a couple of years at LSU. It's a football family. Their dad was Bill, who was a great man, great coach, who's coached at Indiana for a lot of years. And the football family, their team plays the right way. They're aggressive. They're well coached. They're a program that, let's face it, you don't turn it around. You don't come in as a new staff, and it's hard. It takes a little bit of time, and I think that he's. I see all the makings of a football team that's getting better and has gotten better every week. They compete, they play hard, they do things the right way, and to me, I wouldn't expect anything different than from knowing the family and what he's all about.
The defense has been pretty consistent throughout your couple of years you've been here. Kind of a letdown Saturday, and I thought the missed tackles was one thing that kind of.
Who?
I know the kids Jalen Powell talked about it after the game. Has that been a reoccurring problem, or something that showed up?
It's something that part of the things that I've talked about. It's a fundamental thing. Tackling is fundamentals, and we haven't tackled the way I've, to our standard. We've missed too many tackles even prior to Saturday. Probably not to that extent. And but you get yourself in bad positions, you acquire bad habits, whatever it may be, and you're going to struggle against good backs. And there's certain ways that we teach the tackle, and when you get outside of that, you're not doing it that way. And at times, there are guys that, somebody not being in position or blowing an assignment. There's other things that lead you to being in bad positions. There's a lot of things that come to fruition when you're not all on the same page. You're not all, guys aren't doing things and executing at a certain level. It creates the perfect storm where you put yourself in positions where making that tackle is a lot more difficult. And that happened way too many times.